It's time for the whole 9 yards. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ralph Ventre, fired up and ready to go for more pigskin. It's week 5 and it's about to get real. The 20th season of Northeast Conference play kicks off this Saturday with 2 conference contests. One out in the Steel City, one over on Staten Island. In addition to those 2 games, there are 2 juicy non-league matchups on the Week 5 docket. Now let's take an in-depth look at that Week 5 slate in the No Huddle preview. We'll start with the first of 2 out-of-conference matchups on the Week 5 schedule. This one features the St. Francis U Red Flash. They're hitting the road to take on 0-4 East Tennessee State University. ETSU, which hired former UNC Tar Heel Carl Torbush to serve as its head coach in the program's first season since reinstatement, will play 2015 as an FCS independent and then join the Southern Conference in 2016. Although playing on the road in front of an enthusiastic crowd is never easy, St. Francis U will look to exploit East Tennessee State's youth and ETSU's difficulty in stopping the run. In 4 games this season, opponents are running for 5.2 yards a carry against ETSU. That certainly bodes well for St. Francis, which features a strong, hard-nosed running game led by preseason All-American Kahari Dixon and sophomore Marcus Bagley. The Red Flash, who have already played road games at Youngstown State and at Towson, will look to run their way to a victory as they close out their non-conference slate at East Tennessee. The second non-conference matchup we have to examine features the NEC preseason favorite, Bryant Bulldogs. 1 week after jumping out to a 10-0 lead over national number 1 Coastal Carolina, Marty Fine's Bulldogs will again hit the road to take on a Big South member. This time, it's a bit of a familiar face as Bryant heads down to the Jersey Shore to face former NEC member Monmouth. It'll be the second game that Monmouth has played against an NEC member this season. The Hawks took down Wagner on Grimes Hill back in week 3, capitalizing off of 4 Wagner miscues. The good news for Bryant is that the Bulldogs have taken care of the football better than any team in the Northeast Conference this season. Bryant ranks first in turnover margin, a +6 through its first 3 games, and they have only turned the ball over once. That's 1 lost fumble. It may be worthwhile for the Bulldogs to attempt to attack Monmouth through the air. The Hawks are surrendering 8.8 yards per pass attempt to the opposition. Meanwhile, Bryant quarterback Dalton Easton is heating up. He threw for 291 yards at Coastal last week, and that was 1 week after a 309-yard performance spearheaded the Bulldogs' victory over Ivy League member Brown. So we'll see if Easton and his Dogs can avenge last week's loss to a Big South member by taking care of Monmouth Saturday at the Jersey Shore. You can watch that one live on ESPN3. Now moving on to the Northeast Conference matchups that await us in Week 5. The 20th season of Northeast Conference play is here. The first matchup we take a look at, it's Central Connecticut heading west to visit Duquesne out on the bluff at Rooney Field in Pittsburgh. It may sound cliche, but you better believe that these 2 teams know it's a new season And the results of the past few weeks can be thrown out the window, because now the race for the Northeast Conference crown and the automatic bid to the FCS playoffs commences. The Central Connecticut at Duquesne game, which will air live on NEC Front Row, free of charge of course, features a pair of young, dynamic ball carriers. On the Duquesne side, it's PJ Fulmore. The freshman leads Duquesne in rushing and picked up Northeast Conference Rookie of the Week honors earlier in September. On the other side, there's a guy by the name of Cameron Nash. The transfer from West Virginia saw his first ever collegiate action this season. He went off for more than 160 rushing yards. And as a result, Nash now owns an NEC Rookie of the Week award as well. In terms of a game within the game, this matchup features a good one. It'll be preseason All-American receiver Duquesne's Chris King up against decorated defensive back Javon Elmore of Central Connecticut. Don't forget though, King isn't the only weapon that the Dukes can unleash. Transfer Wayne Capers has made a number of big catches thus far this season. The good news for Central is they can counter with another veteran defensive back named Brandon Holloman. So tune into Front Row come Saturday and you'll see firsthand who will take home the bacon. Will it be the Duquesne wideouts or the Central defensive backs? And our fourth and final game on the Week 5 schedule is the NEC opener for Robert Morris and Wagner. The Colonials come east to New York City to visit the Seahawks in a matchup that features two programs who are coming off grueling non-conference schedules. Last week, Robert Morris found itself at number 6, South Dakota State. That was only 2 weeks after the Colonials took nationally ranked Youngstown State into overtime. Meanwhile, Wagner opened its season down at FBS member Rice. They came home to face Big South member Monmouth, and then last week Patriot League member Lafayette. Speaking of that Lafayette game, Wagner saw the emergence of junior receiver Andre Yevchenez. The young man produced his first ever 100-yard receiving game. Yevchenez will certainly be on the mind of a strong Robert Morris defense led by safety Ryan Richards Jr. And actually, Richards isn't alone. He is one of 3 Colonials who have captured NEC Defensive Player of the Week honors already this season. Will the Seahawks offense fly high, or will the Colonials defense clamp down on the Wag? You'll find out when you watch it live on Saturday, NECFrontRow.com. Well, we've gotten through the No Huddle preview without any casualties, so let's now take a breath and call a Twitter timeout. In this segment, we look at a top NEC-related tweet from the past week in social media. This week's winner, it's former All-American NEC defensive back Gordon Hill. Hill, who spent the last 4 seasons competing for Sacred Heart University and securing 2 NEC titles while doing so, fired off this tweet ahead of Bryant's game at number 1 Coastal Carolina last Saturday. In the true spirit of NEC pride, supporting his fellow conference brethren, Hill wished the Bulldogs a lot of luck. And although they didn't win, the Bulldogs certainly didn't disappoint. A 1-score game late in the 4th quarter on the road at the national number 1, not a bad showing by any means. So shout out to our old friend, safety Gordon Hill, for continuing to follow Northeast Conference football and for giving Bryant some words of encouragement. And of course, a shout out for the Bulldogs for a strong showing on the road. And on to the final segment of our weekly show. It's time for some X's and O's. In this weekly spot, we shine the light on one prime offensive performer, and then we move over to the defensive side of the ball and give you a key name to watch over there. First, let's start out with Wagner quarterback Alex Thompson. He saw action in the season's first 2 games, but it was just this past Saturday against Lafayette that the young man received his first collegiate start. Thompson was responsible for all 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing and 2 passing, as Wagner shot out to a 21-7 lead over the Leopards. He's tall, he's mobile, and he has some great potential. So it'll be interesting to see how Wagner's young Alex Thompson develops as a signal caller as our season progresses. Now moving over to the defensive side of the ball, we look at a grizzled veteran, Big Zach Zidian, the 6'1", 300-plus pounder who mans the middle of Duquesne's defensive line. Now, if you're looking for mouth-watering stats from Zidian, you're not going to find it. He officially has 1 quarterback hurry and 2 tackles for a loss this year. But his impact goes way beyond the stat sheet. Whenever you have a tough, big ball player such as Zidian, you have someone who can absorb 2, 3, multiple blockers and then create space for Duquesne's strong linebacking core to come up and make the play. Zidian has been doing that and some thus far in his senior season. So that will just about do it for the Week 5 edition of the Whole 9 Yards. Remember, Bryant at Monmouth, St. Francis at ETSU, both in non-conference action, and then it's the good stuff, the juicy stuff, conference play, 2 matchups, both will air live on Front Row. Don't miss it, folks. After all, Saturday only comes around once a week. For NEC Front Row, I'm Ralph Ventre. This was the Whole 9 Yards. Enjoy the games.